Sometimes I just feel like giving up because the amount of work that has gone into Ruwa Organic is a lot. And the amount of money that has gone in is also a lot. Now, I know you're going to say, well, Mr. Ruwa, you know what? You need to be on the ground. You need to be there. But you know what? This time around, it's not about being on the ground. It's about what needs to be done on the ground for me to make money with that farm. Now, my question is, perhaps maybe some of you can answer this. Does farming really have to be that expensive? Does it really have to be that expensive? Because I'm talking about a piece of land, which is less than 2 hectares that I'm working on currently. And money just keeps getting pumped in. Now, of course, I know you guys need an update as to what's been going on with Ruwa Organic. I know I always say I'm not going to give up, but trust me, that idea of giving up sometimes comes to my mind because, it's tough. It's tough. You know, sometimes we say living in the diaspora, you know, that's the place to be. It's easy to raise money. It's easy to do this. It's easy to do that. Well, as for me, it's been over a year now since I came to the UK, since disasters after disasters happened at the farm. And I've been trying to settle down, get my mind straight, and at the same time work as hard as I can away from Zimbabwe, because I know that if I'm on the ground, I have to be fixing things. I have to be at the farm. So it's a bit of a distraction if I really need to focus on my work. Because bear in mind, I can work while I'm here in the UK and I can also work while I'm in Zimbabwe because my business is online based. So when I came over here, I was behind on my bills for about 3 months. We're talking about council tax, electricity, gas, and water. And we're averaging about 160, 170 on each of these bills. So I've been behind by about 3 months. And of course, that accumulates. So while I'm behind on those bills, I'm also trying to keep the business working. And not only that, I still need to catch up with those bills because once you're behind, it doesn't mean that, okay, they forget about it. No. You have to make a payment plan, right? So when I made the payment plans, it had an impact on my cash flow. So the monies that are coming in, a lot of it now is going to the payment plans. But at the same time, I also need to put money aside for the farm. And not only that, I also need to live while I'm here. So for me, it hasn't been easy. It has been very, very difficult, even though I'm in the diaspora. Now, of course, I know some of you will probably say, but Mr. Ruwa, why don't you go on the ground? You know, why don't you go on the ground and see everything being done on the ground? I know it may be easier said than done, to be honest, because a lot of the things that were going wrong, I was actually there on the ground. But the thing is, I changed direction. The chickens were giving me a headache. I don't want to lie. The chickens were giving me a headache. At the moment right now, I have about close to 300 chickens, and I will be putting them online to sell them online. And if you guys can support me, I would really, really appreciate it. So I will set up the website and then, try and sell them online. So anyway, I decided not to do the chickens anymore because the room for mistakes to happen was very, 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 very small. You know, you can just not do biosecurity correctly and the flock of chickens is gone. You know, that's very high risk. So I decided to get a few tractors, plowed the whole or majority of the farm, and also got a disc, you know, to spread everything, smooth things up. And then we went into planting some vegetables. To be specific, cover. So we have cover now on close to about a hectare. Close to a hectare, not a hectare as such, but close to that. And things have been looking very good because we've been having great rains. I always see it on the camera. So every now and again, I'm logged onto the camera and I see what's happening on the ground. And talking about the camera, oh, by the way, before I talk about the issues that happened, actually, let's go into the issues. So you see those guys who were doing the chickens? Okay, they got fired, they left. So we got this young guy who is actually working there now and staying at the farm. So we planted a lot of, thousands and thousands of plants. Thousands. I'm talking about perhaps maybe even 8,000, plants of the cover. A lot. It's a lot. So as they're growing, they start getting all these shootings, from the side, and those can be replanted as well. So the idea was to clear some more space and then use those shootings, I can't remember the right name for them, to replant them so we don't have to keep buying from the nurseries, because it's actually quite expensive. It's $130 for can't remember how many there were. Is it 10,000? 130 for 10,000? Something like that. But anyway, yeah, it's thousands and thousands of plants. I think I got the calculation wrong there. So one day I'm looking at the cameras and I'm thinking, okay, so what's really happening there on the ground? I see this young guy now with his wife going into the field. So I think they realized the camera was following them because it moves with motion. So the camera just sort of like moved, and then it looked like he was carrying something, and then he went off the area where I normally see everything that's happening. So he pretty much went on the blind spot. So when he went on the blind spot, I couldn't see what was happening because everything was now at a distance. So I panicked and I'm thinking, is this guy trying to sell the vegetables? So anyway, he was asked and he actually said, yeah, I sold some of these vegetables for $1. My heart sank. And I was like, okay, the chickens were being stolen. Now it's the vegetables. Like, really? So this time it was different. We made it a police case. And that really, really freaked him out because he wasn't expecting that. So what he was asked was, okay, these vegetables that you're getting from the field, are they yours? Who gave you the permission? Are you not getting paid? He's like, yeah, I'm getting paid. So who gave you permission to take these vegetables? Well, I wasn't giving any permission. So why are you taking the vegetables? No, it's a very big mistake. I'll never do it again. So already I could tell that, if I continue with this guy, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a lot of problems. So we made it a police case. But we did it in such a way that we got the police to come to the farm and deal with this situation while everyone was watching. So the police dealt with the situation while everyone was watching, because what I wanted to do this time was to send a message that we are not messing around anymore here. Whoever wants to come and work, the word is going to go around that, hey, you know what? We cannot be stealing at Ruwa Organic, because if we do, it's going to be a serious case. And we also emphasize that we can see everything on the cameras. We can do playbacks, and if anyone who's not supposed to be at the farm actually comes to the farm, it's going to be a problem. So that was a very, very good start. But you know what? The good news is we did the first harvest. You know how people say, market is very difficult to get. You need to have connections. You need to know people. You need to. Sometimes I think people just make up stories. And the reason why I'm saying that is because at first we planted on close to half a hectare, right? And we were scared that we wouldn't get the market to sell. Because sometimes what you see and what you come across online, sometimes people scare you, and they come up with experiences, sometimes experiences they haven't even experienced, but just to make everyone scared. So the first one that people obviously talk about is, well, you need to have connections. You need to have connections for you to be able to sell anything. So at the back of my mind, it was still there, but I was trying to resist it, right? And then I also panicked and I thought, half a hectare, that's a lot. Where are we going to sell them? We don't have any chickens right now. Otherwise, we could feed the vegetables to the chickens in case someone doesn't buy. But thankfully, we did our first trip to the market, and wow, the experience was amazing. The experience was amazing. We even got contact numbers. There's people, as we speak right now, who are just waiting until the vegetables are ready. We don't have to go to the market. They're going to come to the farm and get the vegetables. How cool is that? All right. And all this time I was just in fear of how we're going to get the market. Now, you know what? There's something that I've learned actually, and that is a lot of people are very good at talking too much, but they haven't done the things that they're talking about. It's all theory, right? Now, the challenge that we have, especially us diasporans, the challenge that we have is there's a lot of gatekeeping. You won't find people giving you information on the ground, because generally we are a society or group of people that are very envious and jealous of each other. If I tell Ruwa Organic this, then he's going to make a lot of money. He's probably going to make more money than me. That's the mentality that a lot of people have. And This is why I'm saying sometimes we have to learn the hard way, and it's very, very expensive. Very, very expensive. So for my case, or I'll talk about myself, I mean, I've had to go through so much trial and error, mistakes, to a point where you start to think that, is it possible? How are people making money in farming then? You know, but the reality is, of course, people need these products. They need chickens, they need vegetables. But how is it? How are people actually doing it? So because no one is out there to give you the information, you have to either go professional or learn from your mistakes. So one thing I would recommend for anyone that wants to go into farming is you definitely need to have an agronomist, because without an agronomist, if you're going to apply what you do in your backyard on a massive scale, it doesn't work, because when disasters happen, they happen on a much larger scale. For example, you know, we had issues with insects that were eating the vegetables. So in the end, they had all these holes in them. But of course, you can't go to market with vegetables with holes in them, you know. But quickly, because we have an agronomist, we were told, okay, you need to use these chemicals, you need to spray, you need to do this, you need to do that. And that really saved us a lot. But right now, as we speak, I'm so excited because it's raining. Because as you know, at Ruwa Organic, there's no bowl. So right now we're relying on the water from the heavens, which I know is going to be short-lived. Very, very soon the water is going to go, or the rain is going to go, and we're going to be forced to use the resources that we have. I know I have those shallow wells. I've got quite a number of them. They've got pumps in them, and also the borehole that we drilled, which had no water initially. We looked inside last time, and there's quite a lot of water. Actually, it's 5 meters from the top, right? If you measure 5 meters, I mean, that's where the water is. So what I'm not sure about is, does that mean now that there's water in that well? Is it usable water, or is just water just sipping in from the rain? I don't know. I'm just praying. Maybe this could be a miracle that borehole actually has a lot of water. And if that's the case, then that's going to be very exciting. But anyway, yes, there is some water in there. So we're going to try and put it in a tank and then see if that's going to refill again, and how often it's going to refill, because we've been having a lot of rain. So I guess maybe that's where the water is coming from. So that's going to be very, very exciting to see. But when it comes to the amount of money being spent, oh my goodness, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And it just gets me thinking sometimes, how does one go into farming if you need thousands every single month to go into this project? And we're just talking vegetables. I haven't even started, because just getting a tank and a tank stand, that's about $1,000. And then we need to talk about the labor. Every week, we're talking about an average of 200, right? Because they have to dig make the beds manually, plant everything. We're talking about an average of 200 every week. And then we're going to need a pump for the borehole, pump for the wells, the drip irrigation. And I've had to add more cameras, because all the activity when I was doing the chickens was within the fence. But because now we have expanded to the fields, we've had to install 3 more cameras. Imagine. And they're coming in at 250 each, thousands, just to have this all set up. And we're not done yet, because I'm going to need to have some dogs, and I'm also going to need to have some fencing done, because I don't want people now coming into the farm, because at the moment it feels like people just come in and out. So you don't know who's who. And to enforce that, sometimes I think we need a dog. So these dogs need to be well trained, of course. But as you can imagine, we're going to need to fence the whole place up. That's a lot of money. And if you compare the money going in, then what I'm expecting out of it, it doesn't make sense. Am I really going to get my money back from those vegetables? Like, really? I don't think so. But I'm looking at it more like, okay, this is an investment. It's going to sustain me and give me a bit of cash flow when I need it. That's how I'm looking at it. Making the money back, I don't know, because a lot of money has gone into this thing. It's just crazy. Now, of course, when I do the vegetables, I'm going to go back to the chickens when I'm on the ground in very, very soon, because I need to be there on the ground, especially for the chickens, because I'm not giving up on the chickens. I mean, the chickens, You might think they got away with it, but no, I am going to still go for it. So I need to build a chicken house, and that's going to cost money. I need a car to go to the farm, and so on. That's a lot of money too. I mean, do you see how it accumulates? Now, when I look at myself, I try to see myself as someone who's very blessed in a way, because I have my my own business, and the business is also, doing very, very well. So I'm able to work and travel at the same time. But my question is, I have relatives that are similar age to me, some are older. Are they ever going to retire back home? And if they are, how? Because the monies that are needed for you to settle, or at least say, you know what, I'm comfortable now, is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. I would like to hear from some of you guys who have set up similar things to what I'm trying to do. Have you also spent this type of money on the ground? I really want to know, because it's crazy. But the good thing is, because I have like crazy passion about Zimbabwe, I love everything, the weather, the food, especially the food. Like right now, it's very easy, at our ages now, to start falling sick because of all the toxins in our bodies, because we're not eating the proper foods. I mean, of course, now I've started eating properly, but it's very easy, to just lose it, and just spend so much time eating these junk foods. And not only that, even if you try to go healthy, I came across a documentary the other day where they were talking about the vegetables not having enough nutrients that are needed. So imagine buying cabbage or lettuce or the greens, and the nutrients that you're expecting are not actually in those actual vegetables. It's amazing. Talking about nutrients, when I left Zimbabwe, my shoulder was really, really bad. I couldn't even lift my shoulder like that. So I tried going to the gym to force the stretching, and it didn't work. So I started doing a bit of research. It turns out that those are signs of a lack of magnesium. So I bought these, right? These, I'm not sure if you can see that. These tablets. These are magic magnesium, glycinate, and there's 60 of them. So with these tablets, I take one in the morning, one in the evening, and this pack costs about 20 pounds. 20 pounds. Or is it 25 pounds? Something like that. So here it says for muscles, nerves, and microcirculation. Sometimes I'll go to bed and my feet will be so cold. The rest of the body is fine, but the feet will be so cold. And I used to wonder why. Sometimes my calf muscles, will be so stiff. I actually bought that massage gun thinking, hey, you know what? If I use the massage gun, this might loosen up things. But turns out I had magnesium deficiency. It affected my muscles, and sometimes I'll get these nerve pains as well on my back, my shoulder, and so on. So that's alone. When I look back at what I eat every day, I don't eat foods that are high in magnesium. And that's a problem. When I was in Zimbabwe, I didn't have this problem. It started here. It's tough. It's really, really tough. But the good news is, at least we can find out what these problems are and, try to fix things. But the one thing that I am really excited about is there's a market for the vegetables and the chickens. I'm definitely going to work on that. I'm looking for a camera guy to be on the ground in Zimbabwe to film everything so you guys can see what I've done so far. And these videos are for inspiration purposes. This is not me trying to brag that I got it all sorted or I'm better than you or anything. It's just that you guys have been on this journey with me, and I'd like to also share what's happening at Ruwa Organic, because we want that place to be a place where it shares a story, because you guys know the beginning of that place, and it'll be nice if one day we can have an outdoor place where we can all go there and buy some meat, have some organic vegetables and so on. It would be really exciting if we could do that one day. And that's my goal. Of course, this needs to be my retirement plan as well. but it's super exciting. I know I haven't been posting a lot. January is quite hectic. As a matter of fact, tomorrow I'm going to do an announcement for our Kumusha investors. We need to discuss the plan going ahead, and then we're going to make those announcements so we can get the ball rolling. Because as you can imagine, January is always a very, very slow month. So I just delay things a little bit so that at least everyone can, catch up and get the ball running. And also the chickens, I am going to put the website together. The idea is if you guys can support me by buying these chickens online, and then they get delivered on the ground. That'll be really, really awesome. I've got close to 300. Yeah, I think about 300 chickens. So I'm really looking forward to that. But anyway, guys, I thought I'll just give you a quick update. But yeah, I'm not in a bad place. Things are good. They're not easy, but things are also very, very tough. But it's exciting times. This is, this farming thing is new to me. And actually, there's something I almost forgot to say. You plant the vegetables and you think, okay, everything is all good. After a week, crazy weeds come through. Now you have to get labor to come and clear the weeds again. And that's money. Sometimes you have to spray the weeds, but they keep coming. The grass, like right now, I don't even know. That grass is growing. It seems like the rain has some sort of steroid or something. The way the grass grows when it's raining like this is crazy. It's unbelievable. So, yeah. But the good thing is, it looks like there's progress. When there's progress, there's always energy behind it. So I'm super excited. And once I get a camera guy on the ground and a drone as well, I will put that together and show you exactly what's happening on the ground. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one. Take care.